One of the great things about hosting Wise Guys during this time of year is we get to hang out with one of the coolest guys on campus, BYU men's volleyball head coach Shawn Olmstead, just days ahead of the new season, and tonight is that night. We're glad to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I brought gifts. So.
Oh man, we're gonna turn your mic up just a sec here.
Okay.
We get him?
You gotta have my mic up. We gotta have mine.
We're gonna have your mic up. Your mic's the most important. So you,
there we go. Now
you
we got
brought gifts.
Yeah. So
all right.
what do you got? Let's start with this. I'm
wearing the all black. If you guys are nice to me and it's a good podcast today, I'll take care of you guys. But I got you guys the all white.
What's wrong with all white?
No, it's
Those
got the
awesome.
volleyball.
Oh yeah,
and
look at that.
So I brought. We got a large and a large ready. Here we go.
And you know I will wear that, of course.
And then I don't know. You guys may or may not have the kind of the military issue stuff for BYU this year. So this is just you can wear this at whatever event. You know, you won't hurt the feelings of the other coaches when you're wearing volleyball. That's just BYU Cougars. Here we go.
Oh,
hey, I'll wear BYU volleyball to a basketball game.
There we go. And then
not on the air. I have to wear a coat and tie, but when I'm off the air,
that's
true.
I will do it.
Listen, I'm doing Sports Nation tomorrow. I'm going to wear my volleyball.
You wear it?
Yeah.
Do it. And then we got you some jugs that are, I'm trying to see, men's volleyball right there, the hydro jug, maybe for the,
you guys.
For the wife or the daughter or somebody.
No.
Can you catch this?
I think so.
All right. Don't get in trouble. There we go.
As long as you don't break the equipment.
Men's volleyball, right on.
I'm all about that right there.
Sweet. First of all, thanks for bringing us gifts.
Of course.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No, I do.
But you know I wear it if you bring it.
Always. You guys are awesome.
But we did say last week when we were promoting that you were coming, I do believe Blaine said, you know what, Shawn does always bring gifts.
He always brings awesome gear. I didn't like it, but it's not expected. I always do. And we were just talking about when you weren't listening because you were driving up here, but I mean, not up. I can't tell if it's up or down because this is a very secret place.
Secret location.
But for most people,
knows.
They would have to drive up to get here. I would say.
Good point. That's a good point.
So as you were driving up, I drive up. You don't drive up.
I drive around.
You drive sideways.
You drive sideways. Okay.
I drive up to get here. All of us can't live up in this neighborhood.
No, we can't. We're down in the lower ends.
Yes, we are.
The what do they call it? The lowlands, right?
I live in the river bottom.
You're down there.
If the dam breaks, I'm in trouble.
Gone.
You're down there where
these guys are not in trouble.
It's safe when it snows down there.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But we were talking as you were driving up. We're like, man, we think Shawn's he's the coolest coach on campus. Like you have the coolest vibe. Like I can't think of any coach. I'm thinking every sport.
No,
there's not a cooler coach than you.
There's not. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But there's a lot of great. No. Hey, we're lucky. Like, look, I was listening as you guys were going over things and you're going through some of these highlights. And honestly, just a minute ago, I was just thinking, man, what a time to be a part of BYU. Yeah. It's wild. And I know you guys know that because you're covering our sports and teams and coaches, but it's a crazy, exciting time to be a part of BYU, of the athletic department, of what's going on in every sport, the movement, the excitement, the wins. And I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And this fan base is nuts about it all. It's like we built this thing for a few years, and you've been part of it with us for a number of years now. We never had any idea that it could be this big, but we owe a lot to the fact that all of the sports teams are performing at such a high level that the fans are just flocking. They're like, give us more, give us more, give us more.
Yep.
And there's no place better to be than in the Smith Fieldhouse for a men's volleyball game. When a men's volleyball game is going on, that atmosphere is electric.
It's unlike any other place. Just you're there, you see it, you feel it. And for a lot of people that their first opportunity to come watch volleyball at this level, a lot of us, like the reality is the vast majority of people, see the high school volleyball, they watch their daughter or their niece and maybe their grandkid and play high school volleyball or junior high volleyball. But to be able to go down there and experience and see these guys and the physicality and be right there, you can, I mean, sometimes people do reach out and touch us. They don't realize like, hey, we're coaching a game and like, hey, someone in the ward's like, hey, I brought my but that's the great thing about the Smith Fieldhouse. And I mean, there's been a lot of discussions on changing Facilities, that's always a constant chatter, and I've stood my ground from day one. I don't want to change the Smith Fieldhouse. You know, sooner or later it probably will. That's what facilities do over time. But I've said, hey, I'm perfectly happy with what we have, where we are, and it's a pretty special place for our sport.
How do you describe the magic of it? You've played it just about everywhere, right? And you've played in venues where their fans are just as passionate and all that. But what's the magic of your place?
That we're all like, you can pack in 6,000 people, you know, come to our game and pack in, you walk in the entrance to the Smith Fieldhouse, but then when you walk into the courts, like, first off, the temperature goes up like 10 degrees.
Yes,
it's like, does. Whoa, like, you know, the lights and all the people there. But then just the energy of everyone. We're so lucky. Like, we have just an unbelievable fan base, like, for even just BYU volleyball, like men's volleyball. Yep. People that have been coming to these games as long as I can remember. And they're there, and they're always there, and they're engaging, they're loud. And at the end of the day, there is no other place that we've ever played where the fans can be that close. And so you pack that place, you go into the back, they open the curtain, it gets wild, it gets loud, and it's pretty special.
And I come a lot, and every time I come watch a game where I'm up close and personal, it takes me back. I just go, wow, I cannot believe the speed at which the ball is being hit. Yep. Like, it's just like, even when it's a serve, you're just going, this game is just played at another level here. Yeah. At that level, the kind of universities that are coming in here to play, and I can't believe, and the physicality of it, the guys, the way they're exploding off the ground, and you know, guys trying to go, three of them trying to block it, and it's getting hit into them. And how fast is the ball coming off of a hitter's hand when they're spiking the ball?
Well, our guys, you know, that's the fun thing is, you know, probably 3, maybe 4 years ago, we invested both programs into the radar system, so we can have the score at each side, so the fans can see that. Because most of the time they do go like, whoa, how fast was that serve or that spike? And so our guys can go back there and serve. We had guys today getting up into 71, 72, 73.
How do you return
They're going to stay around 60. We want them to be consistently in at a high 60. Yeah. The float serve is going to be a little different, and our guys can do that. And so they're getting that in at that speed, and then the spikes are probably twice that, right? The attacks.
When somebody kills the ball, it's just like, I would not put my hand in front of that.
Yep.
And it's forceful, and it takes you back. And if you haven't been, if you're out there, or if you're riding your bike listening to this, you're out here on the live stream tonight, you go to one game, and you'll want to just keep coming back every time.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. And look, credit to BYU, what they've made these events. Come on, guys. Like, you 5 years ago, these events weren't the way they are. Like, we got to give props to Almadova and his staff.
It started with free pizza, right?
Yeah, I mean, it started, something free pizza. I remember like Midnight Madness when I was a student athlete. It was right when like Krispy Kreme moved in. Yeah. And we all went there at midnight, you know, and they're throwing them. But I mean, Almadova and that staff, and they've just continued to set a standard that is, it's an experience coming to a football game, a basketball game, and then do a volleyball game. And so they're improving it every year.
One thing I've noticed too, unlike some sports, the excitement translates through television.
Oh, yeah.
So you watch it, and Jerem and those guys on the call, you can feel the excitement come through TV.
No, Jerem and those guys, and Steve, bless his heart, it's going to be the first year in a long time without Steve, and he was a big part of that. And I always tell Jerem that I get to travel and recruit the world, and the amount of people that want to talk about those guys is always like, wow, it's just crazy to me. I mean, but it's so fun to have that following. And Steve and Jerem, when you're watching it from home, that in and of itself is like an experience, you know, because it's not just volleyball X's and O's. You had Steve's humor with the 80s movie references and superheroes and this and that, and the lookalikes, and the BYU productions just, I mean, set the standard and won awards. And it is a sport that with them, you can, through the TV, you can hear the physicality, the attacks, and all those things. So it really does translate that way.
Steve passed away. Amy Gant will have the tough shoes to fill with that crew that'll be busy on Friday night in the opener. BYU men's volleyball coach Shawn Olmstead on the Wise Guys with us, presented by Brady Plus, Eddie, and Mountain America Credit Union. Your Cougs were picked 8th in the preseason coaches poll, 5th in the MPSF, which gives you an idea of the difficulty of that league.
How good is that league?
We're talking about the Big 12 in basketball. You've been in that kind of league for a long time.
Yeah. No,
how do you feel about that pole position?
Not perfect. It's great, and it's what I would expect. We lost. From the outside looking in, we lost big time contributors like Luke Benson, Mix, Keone, and so we lost those guys that really played a huge part for our team, and so that's right where I would expect. Mark my words, this team is going to be one of the most exciting teams you've seen in a handful of years. And we've got some physicality across the board that we haven't had for a long time. We've got a kid right down the street that born and raised right down, I could probably ride my skateboard to his house, almost sideways.
Not down.
And he's a kid that I saw him after he graduated high school, and I was walking to my car and I was recruiting, and I saw this kid just bomb a ball, and I'm like, what the heck is that, a Utah team? Who's this kid? And he'd come to camp, but he just didn't stand out, and he's kind of just this gangly kid. And AJ Cottle is his name, and he so we joke every day it's the real AJ. The guys are like,
there's AJ
that's our joke with our
and
humor.
Then there's the real AJ, right?
But anyways, I kind of talked to him. I said, look, dude, hey, you're brand new to volleyball, just gangly kid, probably like a 7-foot wingspan, I think. And I just said, what's your plan? I knew he was pretty, inexperienced. He had just started playing. And I said, hey, let's put together a plan. Like, you're not going to be ready to come here. There was talk at the time. He wasn't decisive, but it was back and forth about a mission. And I said, hey, let's talk, because you're going to need some years to grow into your body and to play volleyball. So, hey, let's get you down the road, UVU, on their clip. Just, go do whatever you can to play volleyball. If we lose a year of eligibility, and go be a student and get great grades, and then go on your mission. And now he's off his mission, and he just came in our gym. Mark my words, he's going to be a standout. He's going to be one of the guys that people are going to pay to come watch him play in our gym, and he's around here for a handful of years. And that's another exciting part, is that we've got kids from Utah that we haven't had in years past, that are actually kids that are recruited by some of the best teams in the country, that are now here at BYU, that are going to start to really, really stand out. But
in your with your AJ, in a dunk contest with the other AJ, how does your AJ stack up?
Same wingspan probably, though, 7'2", both of them.
Yeah, I mean, our AJ is probably just a little raw, like volleyball, but our AJ, and nothing against AJ DeBonsa, I'm not questioning his personality, but this kid AJ is unbelievable. So this kid would take it on and just go, heck yeah, let's go. And he would try something dumb probably, but he's so long and athletic, he'd very likely dunk it. He'd probably make it,
so it'd be a pretty good showdown.
It'd be fun. Like, honestly, we're going to have a team show up. You'll see a team, the physicality that we haven't seen in a long time. Now, we need to be able to play volleyball at a high level, but to be able to kind of have that base physically, it's going to be a great place to start. And so to get back to that polls, that's right where I want to be. And again, looking at our team, we lost some guys, and we were able to bring on some really experienced guys with GCU cutting their program. That's really going to help us. We're going to see 2-3 guys on the court right off the bat from that team.
Talk about, so Grand Canyon is who you're talking about, and they were a very good program. So they're an elite.
They were in the Final Four 2 years ago.
Elite level program. They discontinued volleyball. And so you picked up some guys from them. 6'8" Trent Mosier, 6'5" Connor Oldani, 6'6" Max Felipe, and Kyle Zedeker at 6'5". So they're all here.
Oh yeah, they've been here since fall.
That's a nice. That's never happened before.
No, I mean that was really a great.
So how do they figure into all of this?
Honestly, I joke. I joke with people, but I'm being serious. There's zero doubt in my mind I have the greatest team on campus, culture-wise, personality-wise, and that's not to go, debate it with other coaches. And I hope that Bruce and Jen and Diljit and everybody, and Kalani, I know they feel the same, and they should. But there was zero time. They needed no time to just, boom, bring those guys in, ready to go. And Trent Mosier was here before.
That's right.
And so then he went and he was an All-American last year at Grand Canyon. And Trent and I always had a very strong relationship, and we maintained that, and so did the guys. And so when I heard that news, like right when it broke, I immediately texted him and just said, Trent, I'm so sorry. And a few days before that, we'd been giving each other a hug after he lost in the MPSF tournament. We were playing next, gave Trent a hug. What a great season you had. No one knew that was coming. And so I just texted him and said, Trent, hey, I'm so sorry to hear the news. You let me know if there's anything I can do. And, Trent immediately responded, hey, can I call you? And called me. And I just said, hey, well, of course I got the scoop on what was going down, because it came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay, what's your plan? And he just said, well, like honestly, the best would be for me to go back to BYU. And I said, okay.
Let's go.
And can you bring 3 of your friends?
Well, yeah, and then they all did come on a visit together that week. And Trent didn't need to, but that shows you him and the teammates. And I said, well, we're going to bring all these guys. And Trent's like, you don't need to come. You've been here. You've lived here. All of our team. Campus. Everything. So let me know. And he's like, well, I want to come. I want to come with the guys. All right, Trent, we'll bring you out too on a visit. So that doesn't happen too often where you bring them on a official visit.
Right, the guy that's already played for you.
That's already played, and so Trent's back, and it's just a great story for him. So
you lose 5 players, so to pick up 4 in the portal from one team, this has never happened before, has it?
Yeah, and and most of those guys were playing quite a bit on that team. Yeah. And last year we split with them. So we beat them night 1 at Grand Canyon, and then they beat us night 2. And so here they are, and you're gonna see some of those guys on the floor right at the get-go.
Mm. Do they have a nickname, the foursome? What do they call
we
themselves?
Always joke hey, GCU against BYU, let's go, and we'll mess around with that, and they laugh and they love it. And I had a really great friendship with the head coach for GCU.
Yeah.
And he transitioned into women's volleyball because of the growth, and he became an associate head coach for Kansas. So when he came into town, he was texting me, Shawn, I can't wait to see those guys. And I just said, hey, Matt, we were in limited hours at that time. But I said, you're going to be around it was like a Friday. And I said, technically our week doesn't take us to that day. It was early season training. And I just said, but the guys would love to see you. I know you want to see them. I'm going to switch everything around. I switched it like a day or 2 before on the guys. I said, guys, Matt's coming. This will be fun for the GCU boys and for our crew to just switch practice. And it was great. He sat there. He had his Kansas gear on, because they just had women's practice an hour right before ours. And he stayed after and just loved seeing the guys. Took some cool pictures. And so,
isn't it interesting? As a veteran coach, relationships matter, and sometimes they might matter 5 years down the road.
100%.
But look what relationships have done to the roster we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, relationships. Look, guys, we've all been through it, and you guys have been. No offense, you guys have been through a lot more than me, right? You've been around the block a handful more forever. But guys, isn't relationships always what it comes down to? And it's, you see that in the great coaches, you see that in those kids that, some you're going to see in this day and age, there's kids that can't stick around at the programs they're at because of roster changes, and you're going to see the coaches that have those relationships and have that bond, and you see it in the kids that depart, and then sooner or later their cousin or uncle or brother or cousin or somebody, like, hey, go to BYU. That was maybe I got cut because of rosters or something happened, but man, I had the best relationship with my coach, and I think that's what it's always about, right?
Yeah, it
seems to be, especially for the successful coaches.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And you look at any successful coach, and that's what it comes down to. It really does come down to that. And I think you can see some coaches that kind of strike it while it's hot, right?
Right.
But the ones that consistently over time, year in and year out, like, that's what the cornerstone is. The other ones might come and go, and you're going to see a Lane Kiffin or this or that. And but the consistently great ones are building those relationships every single day. That's a big part of their job.
Yep, love it. And, hey, your good friend Kalani Sitake signs a 10-year deal. So he's about relationships. Going to be here with you. You've been here for a long time. He's going to be here for a long time, and that's. It seems like that's worked for BYU.
Yeah, and that's been, I mean, just what the football team went through and what he's done in this climate where it's just, you know, it's kind of a what can you do for me now, right? We're seeing that, and Kalani's been able to navigate that properly, and it's the right person to be here at BYU for this team, for this time that we're kind of in, where he's being able to bring a kid here and there from the portal. But I mean, Kalani's building just the foundation of what he's doing is phenomenal. And I always share with you guys, Chase is my neighbor. And so I said bye to him when he packed up his truck. I think he left on Saturday. They were driving to California. He packed up his little Tacoma and I'm out of here. You know, he had his BYU gear
going to the
on.
Hula Bowl, right? Yeah.
And I was about to shut up, Chase, man. You know, we've lived across the street for 13 years now, and got to see that kid grow up, and what a phenomenal family. But just look at him. That's a young man. Like, Chase probably never even considered. I knew he was going to go to the NFL, but that's a different thing than, hey, you know, I'm going to see if I can get out of here or strike it somewhere else. He's BYU through and through, and you know those are the big time people that Kalani's really building and you know taking care of.
We like to ask you this question every year.
Okay.
If the team had a dunk contest, who wins?
Ooh. Dude, you know who's like Fife is a freaking athlete.
Oh yeah,
you know Jackson Fife. You know the Fife family.
I sure do.
No, wait, no.
He does too. We do.
You guys both do, right?
Yeah.
But
Tom's in my eldest quorum. He's
really?
Salt of the year.
Okay,
we both know him.
I don't know. Fife's a really good basketball player.
Really?
Like, just in general, basketball, he's really good. I don't think he'd win the dunk though. But he can dunk. You know, for a libero, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, dunk contest. It might be AJ because of his length and just the size and what he's touching physically. We're gonna have all the guys jump tomorrow, and we'll get their numbers. And
what's the highest? Well, I remember when Ozzy was playing here. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Was he 48 inch vertical?
Yeah, his vertical was up there 48.
But he wasn't very tall, so he probably doesn't have the highest touch ever. Who's got the highest touch?
It's probably AJ.
AJ's the highest touch.
AJ's above 12 something.
Ooh, so that's
really high.
That's like Kaba. He's 12 something.
Yeah, and
so AJ Cottle wins the dunk contest.
I think he would.
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
He'd go for it. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Kaba's, we were talking basketball, volleyball, all of it. Kaba's brother's a good volleyball player.
It's so funny. I should pull out my phone because one of our former players, Russell Holmes, and he played in the Olympic Games. I get a text after morning practice, and it's like, hey, what the heck? What about these rumors about Keita's Namori Keita coming to BYU? And I was like, what? And I go pull up Instagram or something, and someone had created legitimately a real like a spoof. But hey, here's the rumor right now: look, this is his brother. His brother's likely making X amount of dollars, right? And he's like, this day and age where we're bringing NBA guys,
right?
And so
G League guys,
really are one of our former players. Believed it in California and hit me up. And so, but no, his brother is, if you guys have not gone and looked at his highlights,
he's an international star.
Unreal at volleyball. Unbelievable volleyball player.
It's wild.
Yep.
Hey, let's take a look at the schedule a little bit here.
Okay.
The home schedule. St. Francis is here for the home opener on Friday. The home slate has UC San Diego, UC Irvine, Menlo College, Fort Valley, Concordia Irvine, Pepperdine, USC. How do you feel about that lineup at home?
I mean, it's a good home slate. We have more home matches than I think last year, and it's perfect. We're going to kind of ramp it up in difficulty as we get going. So we've got St. Francis. This is a head coach that's been there for probably like 30 something years, and his goal before he retires, kind of funny side note, is to play in every Division I venue, and so we're one of the last.
Oh wow!
And so he'd always been telling me, and I was like, hey. You just tell me when and we'll make it happen. And finally, it just worked out a year ago that he said, hey, next year, can we start there? So this is going to be cool for him. And
does he know what's coming?
No, but he knows that, you know what he knows, and this is also the great thing about BYU, and I have to mention the quality of the people at BYU. Yes, we know that. We hear about it all the time.
Right.
But that is always talked about by any team that comes in and plays here. Wow, so exciting, so much fun. But, man, the fans are just amazing people and treat those people with respect and love good volleyball. So he knows the tradition. He knows the lore of the Smith Fieldhouse. So I'm excited for him because he's been doing it a long time. I'm really excited. So, and then we've got San Diego and then Irvine, great teams from the Big West.
Right.
Our slate with MPSF teams is really, really good. Pepperdine, SC. And so it's really, really becoming a nice home field advantage through the course of the semester. And we're hosting the MPSF tournament.
Yes.
We already know that.
Right.
So that's a big thing we're talking about, is getting our guys in a position through these matches over the next few months to be ready for that tournament come the end of April.
On the road, you've got at Santa Barbara, Lincoln Memorial, Harvard, Merrimack, UC Merced, Jessup, and then Stanford, Vanguard, and you finish up at UCLA. That's you finish up with the big one.
Yep, we finish up with the big one, and they're hosting the national championship. So I love that. I love that we get to finish with them. I love that we get to go out there and be on that floor, because then the next week we'll return for the MPSF tournament, and it's going to give us a good idea of where we're at and where we need to be.
So the MPSF tournament's April 21st through the 25th, right here in Provo. And then the next week,
I think there's a week in between. And then it gets going.
So you play a couple of really smart teams this year. Holy cow!
Yeah,
you're on the road at Harvard and at Stanford.
Yeah, I was excited about that, and I've always told my scheduling philosophy. I think it's really important for me. I've kind of taken this on to take our team to places we've never been, to be able to be with the fans. And Cougar Nation is so amazing. We go to these places. They show up. They have never seen a men's volleyball match live. We've been in the boondocks of Mount Olive, North Carolina, and the whole venue was all BYU. We brought them all down on the floor. The other coach led us. We took a big picture.
That's great.
These people were at our hotel. They'd traveled 12, 15 hours just to be there. And so I'd never been out to Boston.
Oh, wow.
We had them last year, and he and I have been planning this return, and we've already got a church activity for Sunday there, because we're going to actually be there Friday, Saturday. Sundays, go to church, do an activity with the youth, and then we'll play a Monday night match. Yeah, right there in the Boston area. And I've been really looking forward to that. Really, really looking forward to that.
That's a cool one. That's a really good one.
Hey, the other AJ's family can come over and cheer you
There
on.
you go.
They're from
There you
Boston.
go.
They always correct Dave and I. We say for the Boston. They go. I go area. Because they're not from Boston. They're from Brockton.
Yeah, they don't mess
Hey,
around.
they won't be busy in April. Come on. Basketball season will be over. They have nothing better to do at that point.
We are thrilled to have BYU men's volleyball coach Shawn Olmstead on the Wise Guys live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and wiseguys.com. We saw a change with the women's volleyball program before the holidays. After 14 seasons as head coach, your sister Heather and the Cougs part ways. We had a great experience with Heather over the years. What do you see her doing next? And it seems like USA Volleyball is got to be part of it.
No, my sister, I love her, and she's done a phenomenal job.
Right.
And we had 4 very special years together that will probably forever stand out in my career, and hopefully hers. I don't know. We got to ask Heather, but just unbelievable success with the women's program, taking them to where they'd never been. And so I always hold that above Heather, though, too. Hey, we went to the finals. Right. I was there. And so we played in that match, and she had an opportunity when there was a transition for us that I was able to go back to the men's side, and she was able to lead that women's program and continued to lead them. And they went to the national semifinal, and it was an unbelievable opportunity for us to just be together, be around each other. And Heather's unbelievably driven, unbelievably successful, and she's going to go do whatever she wants right now. And I'm excited for her, And I think she's every year she's had many, many opportunities come her way, and so I know that she'll kind of lay low for a little bit she's not going to just jump to get right back into it. Right. She's going to kind of look at some things. She's got some really, really strong connections in the international game, the USA gym, and at some of the bigger programs in the country on the women's side that have in years past tried to bring her to their program in some way, shape, or form. And she's going to just kind of lay low and figure out, okay, what could be next. And I'll be her biggest fan forever and ever. And she's awesome. And so again, it was a wonderful time for all of us, and I think the world of her, and she knows that. And so, but it's exciting. Rob's here, and we were teammates, and so today was the first day I got to see him. Our team's been training over the break, but today was his first day at BYU, and so he was up in my office first thing in the morning, saying hello and kind of getting some of the rundown of things. And Rob's unbelievably familiar with BYU.
Yeah.
And this has been something that he's wanted to do for a long time. And he went on his own path and did amazing things with the USA national team, with the Aggies up north. And it's an exciting time for him and his family to come back to BYU, and he'll get going. So it's like I said at the start of this interview, it's just a great time for BYU athletics across the board.
Really is. You come from a strong family of women, because I spent a whole week with your sisters and basically all the women in your family.
Oh yeah, you were on the cruise.
I went on the cruise with them, and we actually hung out with them.
I'm sorry.
No, I got to tell you. I love your sisters. And your mom. Like what a amazing. You're the only boy, right?
6 sisters. Yeah.
Six sisters. We got talking. I was like, wait, all of you and Shawn's, and they go, oh, he's the crown prince. He's
oh, Shawn got away with whatever he wanted
to
do.
Always say
that. I remind them, no, I didn't. Guys, get out of here.
But that's fun that you come from that's a unique situation.
Yeah.
We have 6 sisters.
6 sisters,
and you're the only boy.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
What keeps coaching fresh for you? Is it the hiking? What is it that you do?
That's my escape, and that's something very special to me. And it's the reality is it's almost become spiritual for me.
Yeah.
And that's some people may interpret that as cheesy or anything, but they did a deep blue and followed me on a 100-mile race up at the Bear 100. Started in Logan and ended on the water at Bear Lake, and they were with me all night. And these guys were just like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, what?
Why are you doing this?
How are we going to do this? I'm like, look, you guys wanted to do it. I didn't. These are just things I enjoy. You guys want to take part of it. So, hold on tight. And no, for me, what keeps, it's just to be around these kids. Like, it's a blast. In all my years at BYU or at coaching, I've never once thought to myself, man, I got to go to work. I haven't. And that's so lucky. Half the time I look like I'm wearing pajamas to work, and that's how I get to go to work every day. But, and then on top of that, over the last handful of years, like the people at BYU, LJ walked into my gym today in the middle of practice, and we started wrestling, and mark my, LJ, you're going to hear this loud and clear. Just grabbed him, and we started wrestling, and I had him up against the fence, and and LJ's strong, like he could easily take me down. But people like LJ, Chad Lewis, just the support across the board, top to bottom, Robbie, and the leadership, and then just the people, the secretaries, the travel agents. I think to myself every day, man, I'm going to hang out with just great people, and so it's easy to stay fresh, and for me, you had to get away from the stresses of my job, or, not to get away from them, but turn the volume down a little.
Yeah. That's
what I do. I grab my dog and I'm gone, and I turn the phone off, and I just take in that experience of what, the beauty of Utah. We're surrounded by just some of the most beautiful landscape, God's created. And so that's, again, maybe an escape, but that keeps me for sure young and fresh in my mind. So I'll keep doing it as long as I can.
So Friday night, before you leave the locker room, and you're going to take the floor, and the place is going to be sold out. It's going to be everything that you've enjoyed. Are you going to be nervous?
No.
You don't get any of that?
I couldn't tell you the last time I felt like a nervous. No, because I'm just, honestly, what I believe, I like that question and I appreciate that question because I just hope that I leave those games or I'm sitting there before it starts and I see people that I've seen for the last 20 something years, back to when I was a player, the same husband and wife. And maybe their kids are now a little older and they're bringing their kids. Like that means so much to me, more than people know. Like, I don't think I can put into words what that means to me. And I hope that my guys appreciate it. And I tell them every single time at the end of every game, it's a lot, of course, strategy, X and Y and this and that. But I tell those guys, if you don't take a moment in the 1,000 posts you get tagged in by people you'll never, if you don't pick a handful of those and respond personally to them, you will make their world.
Yeah.
And so I hope my guys do. I think they do. But man, I walk in there and it's just like this sense of gratitude that people on a Friday and Saturday night will put everything aside to come support and watch and partake and be around our team, us, BYU. And so, the games, the game's part of it. Like, I didn't, the nervous and sick to your stomach. That was, I felt that. I've felt it all. You're in the bathroom vomiting before a game and there's nothing to vomit because you haven't been able to eat all day. And, I think that with growth personally and just as a coach, you know that, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to put my players in a position to win, and then let's go from there. And this is special for them. This is their time. This is their moment. I've hoped they've thrown up before the game and they got their, hopefully they can keep down some food. But I'm just, I'm unbelievably excited for them, and it's their time and their moment. And I get to be a small part, and forever I'll be grateful for that, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well said.
Before we do 5 questions, was Grand Canyon here or were you there last year?
We were there. We were in Phoenix.
Oh. So this will be the 4 Grand Canyon, with the exception of Trent, this will be their first.
They have no idea what's coming. And Trent tells them, and it's fun to see that interaction too. Yeah. So that'll be a first.
How much eligibility does Trent have left?
Oh, this is last year.
So this is it for Trent.
Yeah.
Or the other guys are.
They're all. Well, one of them was a kid that signed with Grand Canyon, so he's a freshman.
Okay.
And then the other 2 are sophomore.
So those guys have some time, but
they've got. But
3
how
cool for Trent to come back his senior year, where he started.
And he's, credit to him, he got married. We usually marry people better than ourselves, right? And nothing against Trent, but his wife's awesome and unbelievably supportive. And so credit to him and his family. He's grown a ton and he's back. And like I said, he was an All-American last year and he got to play USA this summer. Went and won a championship with them down in Puerto Rico with the men's national team. And so it'll be fun for him to finish out this, and that's a cool part to his story that I think the fans are excited about too.
Yeah, we're excited to see.
All I have to say is I'm excited. I was already excited because I knew that we got some, but now let's go. I'm ready.
Yep.
This is going to be a fun team to watch this year.
Is this not the tallest team you've had?
It could be pretty close.
It's gotta be, right?
Top to bottom, and we've got guys that can get up in the air, and we've got some kids. There's undersized little Herget. What's Dad's name? Todd. Played football.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Todd.
And his older brother is going to be our senior setter.
Okay.
But he just came off his mission, and wait till you see that kid fly.
Wow.
You haven't seen a kid and he's only 6 feet, 6'1".
Is he the next Ozzy?
Ossie's thing was he's left-handed, which you don't see a lot.
Right.
And so Ossie was so creative with that, but he's very comparable, to the jump and the arm speed of an Ossie, and he's only a freshman.
I used to watch when Ossie would come. I would, especially if he was hitting from the back line, he'd come and I'd go. He just flew. Like it felt like he went vertical, he went horizontal out to the net. And I was just like, I've never seen anything like it. This guy just hangs in the air.
You'll get to see.
I can't wait to see some of that again.
Yeah,
there you go. Are you playing everybody Friday, Saturday, or do you got your?
No, I got it. No, we've communicated with each of those guys, and we got to navigate how. Because it's one thing to be training. You've been around sports long enough. You've coached yourself. It's one thing to be training day in and day out, but to now play in games. we just got to see how things respond. And because there's a unbelievable core of young guys, like very, very good young guys. So we got to navigate that as it relates to them, their eligibility, and, is there a kid you want to talk to about, maximizing their potential through a redshirt year?
Right.
So the answer to that is no, I won't. But it's just going to be kind of the first opportunity for us to play somebody else apart from a scrimmage.
We've talked about this AJ kid and his ability and all that. Will we see him a little bit?
Oh, you'll see AJ a lot.
Okay.
Hey, remember the real AJ.
The real
We're
AJ.
gonna see the real AJ.
We're going to start.
I'm going to do pregame for basketball. I'm going to have to say it to AJ. No, I won't.
We're friends.
We got to make this a thing. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. 5 questions for Shawn Olmstead, presented by Strategy Square. Let Chantel help your business grow through social media, and you can reach her at strategysquare.co. Tonight, Shawn to reveal his top 5 hamburger places of all time.
Ooh, top 5?
Of all time. They could be anywhere, too.
Of all time.
These could be in Europe. These could, and I know there's got to be some in SoCal.
Because here's the thing.
Right? There's got to be some in SoCal.
but yeah.
When we think of volleyball, we think of the beach.
Yeah.
We think of hamburgers.
Yeah.
So we figured that you have to be well seasoned. We know in volleyball and in beach life.
Yeah.
So we figured that the world would be ready for your 5 endorsements.
No, that's not fair. Because I'm not I hate to break it to I'm sorry to do this to the show. You guys are amazing, but now I feel like I'm the downer because I'm not I'm going to go in and out.
That's okay.
Just a tried and true. Like me growing up in California, we'd go surf, we'd play beach volleyball.
Ate there with the kids the other night.
Yeah, you're paying back then though. You're paying like $1 for a burger, and fries. And so, the habit started in Santa Barbara. But I still would take In-N-Out over that.
Yeah.
So you're going to In-N-Out number 1?
I would, just because that's my go-to.
And don't apologize.
No, I love the Flying Dutchman.
Shawn, you're not the only one. The Flying Dutchman. What's on a Flying Dutchman?
Flying Dutchman is just 2 patties and a piece of cheese in between. And then you put it in a little bowl and get the pickles and onions and just eat it like that.
So if we go up to the
protein, if I'm trying to be lean, I should go get the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah. So if we go over to Parkway and we say we'd like the Flying Dutchman, they'll know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere you go.
So it's basically I want a double with cheese, protein style.
But you don't have the lettuce.
Without the lettuce.
And it's in their little tray. What are those called? Bowls or?
Right. But then you
animal style.
Then get fries animal style, right?
I'll do animal style, protein style, but I've always done it with the lettuce. But this is Flying Dutchman.
I get Flying Dutchman. Sometimes if I'm super hungry, I'll get 2. I put mustard on it. They add mustard. They add pickles and onions on top. And then I'll get the light fries. I like them kind of like, almost like a potato, like
the raw potato,
almost
barely
like that.
cooked.
Yes,
just put the potato in.
So Flying Dutchman would hey, and by the way,
get that. Have you seen them do the fries?
Shawn, you're clearly not the only one because every time I drive by it, In-N-Out, the one in American Fork or the one out in Orem,
doesn't matter.
It's crazy.
2:00 in the morning, there's a line around the building.
It is crazy. And so me growing up though, you guys got to remember. In-N-Out only was in California forever and ever. And then I remember the day they made it out to Vegas. And,
oh
my gosh. And then it went St. George.
St. George was huge.
And then coming to Provo, my gosh, is this the new age, the dawn of the,
That one in Tropicana in Vegas, we've been there forever.
And every drive home when I was a student athlete here, because I go that same route for a holiday or whatever, I've driven that a million times. Boom, get off there.
There you go.
Get it, and then get right back on the road.
If you pick the wrong time of day, you're going to be there a while.
So I apologize to everybody. I don't have this secret burger.
The thing is the stuff is fresh too. And you know what? I do love a Habit burger too. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, give us some of your other favorites.
So there's In-N-Out, there's Habit.
I don't think you guys got to help me. Sorry, I told
what's
you
your
I'm going
to tell you guys something. Yeah.
Oh no, I enjoy. Sorry, I'm just kind of blanking.
That's all right.
See, now Five Guys is from my home. That's from New York. That's from New York. So
I love Five Guys.
And I'll tell you guys one that everybody's gonna go, what? So Cubby's has a burger called the Smush Burger.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a homemade roll, and then they put a fried egg on it for me. And I had that thing, and I was like, oh man, I'm hooked on this. So now I will go to Cubby's for a burger, which doesn't make any sense, but I do.
Cubby's is really good burgers, and we go there a lot with our team. We do a lot of team stuff over there with our recruits as well. They've been great to BYU, and so
Chubby's.
That's a good point.
Then Chubby's is the other one I was going to mention. So you got Cubby's and
the
Chubby's.
Utah cheeseburger, which is good.
Chubby's is really good.
There's a Cubby's and there's a Chubby's.
Chubby's is right up on 800 East by the mall. By Maverick and by the mall right there in that little strip mall by where the movie theater is.
Yeah,
that's good going.
And they've got a great burger. And they have a BYU room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like they have a room that's all BYU paraphernalia, and they have the games on. People come and eat and watch the games. There's like huge BYU supporters.
The food tastes better in there.
Okay.
In fact, you could probably tell them, I'm Shawn Olmstead, and you would get the BYU discount.
You could tell them that.
I do have to tell you a place.
They have a great burger
that is famous in Carpinteria, where I was born and raised.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
And anybody that I run into and, I get meet for the first time or start talking, hey, I'm from Carpinteria. Oh my gosh. It's called The Spot.
The Spot.
The Spot.
And there's one road that takes you down to the beach. It's called Linden Avenue. Get off the 101 and just go right to the water. And I live right down that road. I live, if you get off the freeway, you're going to go depending on coming north or south, but go to the ocean. You're right there, a few blocks away. And 1 block away is this little shack that's been there forever since I can remember, called The Spot.
The Spot.
So, Carpinteria, California. I guarantee you a handful of listeners, there's zero doubt in my mind, a bunch of people have been there. Quite a few, I bet.
Yeah, I bet you're at The Spot.
There you go.
All right. You know what? Blaine and I have been known to have on many occasions in between shoot-arounds.
People think we're idiots.
A classic Big Mac.
Like we'll go like if we've got both if we're calling a game, then we go to both shoot-arounds day of game.
Okay.
And we talk to both head coaches, and usually there's a break in between the games. And he always says to me, "Gosh, we probably have time to just run down to McDonald's. Do you want to just go get a Big Mac?" And I said, there's nothing wrong with a Big Mac.
Never has been.
Never has been.
When we were kids, they were so big we could barely hold them.
You ate at McDonald's? I'm like, guys, McDonald's there's nothing wrong with McDonald's.
We're confident in our own skin.
Yes.
And we'll go in there and order a Big Mac.
There we go. That's
now, it's not nearly as healthy for you as In-N-Out, that's for sure. Especially not if you eat the Flying Dutchman.
No, there you go.
Which is what I should be. I'm trying to drop 10 lbs in the next month.
You got to try it. You'll like it.
Thank you for the gifts.
Oh, yeah.
And thanks for your time.
We'll wear these for
always,
sure.
Always.
None of my kids are getting that, or my wife. I'm getting that.
All our guys, it's funny. This school starts on Wednesday, and I see these guys, they've all got them, and we've given them to very small handful of our special donors, and the Hydro Jug worked with us to let us create our own little thing.
No, I love it. That was mine.
The guys are carrying them around the classes and all that stuff.
Cool. I'll carry it proudly.
And we love your Redmond mug there. It's one of the sponsors.
They're one of our sponsors.
That group and those guys have been awesome. And he and I were texting.
Harvey Scott?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah. And Ryan mentioned you guys, and then I saw the relight back there.
Yeah.
The funny thing is true story. I had been using Relight for years. When I would go out, that was my electrolyte of choice type
for
thing.
your hikes.
I'd have a few in my pockets, and just over time, I got to meet those guys. They started chatting with us and getting involved, and they've just been wonderful supporters of BYU, and they're continually looking to do more. And so just the other day, they came and brought these water bottles, and we're like, hey, we'd love to here you go. This is just for us, and saying thanks and being connected. So it's just a nice water bottle that I've kept.
My wife likes the pina colada. What's your favorite?
What is yours?
Ooh. No. I mean, I'm very familiar with all their flavors, so I want to get this one. Honestly, my go-to is probably just the mango. The pina colada is really good.
Yeah.
They have some wild ones, like the chocolate. I'm like,
it seems a little heavy for me.
It's just kind of funny, but they're branching out, getting some great limes. Any of the limes that they'll do and mix the kiwis and the watermelon. Those are all really, really good. So
mine today for my workout this morning. Strawberry lemonade.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good. So
I have a Relight every single workout. I sip one packet in a full bottle at every workout.
Yep.
Well, Diljit was in here. She swears by it with her runners, and athletes at a high level need that kind of stuff.
And Diljit's smart about that, and they're doing some pretty phenomenal things. And right now, I joked with her, they're not training in Hawaii. They're just sitting around in Hawaii. But no. They're getting after it, and they've got to... It's again, it goes back to the first comment I made when we started this thing, just the excitement of BYU. Look at her team and look at Ed's, and both those coaches now have pro teams that are training every single day on campus.
Right. That's right. Isn't that crazy?
Literally, these people have come from around the country to live here now and to be a part of those coaches that are running our track programs. It's pretty exciting.
Fantastic.
Amazing. Hey, people are like, hey, we have an In-N-Out in Idaho now. Come on.
See, I didn't
Idaho
even know
can't
that.
have an in and
I
out,
didn't
can
even know
they?
that.
They're conquering the world.
Yeah,
They're going.
yeah.
They're going.
And then
They put one in Logan this last year.
Donna Darwin says, sorry
Yeah,
to
Logan's
disagree,
good. I didn't know
boys,
that. Yeah.
but there's nothing like Hawaii L&L Loco Moku steamed rice with Spam and fried egg with gravy.
And that's a valid point.
that's-
I've had a lot of guys. I've had a lot of players from Hawaii, and we go there, and those guys, it's fun. Like, I'm looking at the menu, and they're like, "Nah, coach, we got it." And something comes out that is unbelievably delicious every time from when we go to the islands.
The fact that they can make Spam taste good every time I'm over in Hawaii, it blows me away. I'm like, Spam was like not even a real food,
They're
is
the
it?
masters over
Oh
there.
yeah, yep.
Very good.
Well, Coach, good luck Friday. We look forward to
Awesome.
seeing you and your team.
Yeah.
And the great thing about volleyball season, it goes forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're talking about hosting the MPSF in April.
Yep.
And it'll be here before we know it, but not before we play a lot of games.
Look, thank you guys. Thank everybody. I know what goes into all this, and I know a lot of it's just a love that you guys have for BYU, for the athletic department, for all these athletes, and so I hope you guys know how much it means to us, and thank the fans. Right now, man, heck yeah, fill up the Marriott Center. Let's go watch AJ.
Yeah.
And then come down when we play and watch another AJ. And I'm the biggest fan of every other team. Like, let's line up and go watch the Gordon's team take the softball field and Trent and the baseball team. And let's go. I was at, sorry, we're probably off the air.
No.
Literally in the middle of the day, I don't know if you guys even know this happened, but it was probably a week or two ago. I could pull it up on my phone, but Diljit's, kind of, Shawn, come on, just come with me. Where are we going? My girls are going to go break the world record.
What?
And they broke their world record. And I watched it, and I called our team. In the middle, it was a track meet, and they have to be. Look, I don't know. Don't get mad at me. I don't know how they're verified, like how all that works. But there was some sort of track meet going on at BYU, like Utah UVU was here.
So it was the BYU Indoor Invitational, probably.
Yeah, yes. And so Diljit for probably there's certain things you got to get certain qualifying times, and she probably looked at that as an opportunity with her girls. But then she looked at it, there's this altitude,
Factor in.
But give me 2 seconds, because I don't want to be
this
wrong.
is awesome.
Watch, but literally in the middle of the day, and so I text my guys, team text, guys, anyone that's here, come down, let's cheer these girls on. And all of a sudden, secretaries are coming out there, and I'm like, whatever. I don't know what you guys are doing, but this is gonna be cool. Like, let's go line up.
And Jane was in that group. I know that.
Jane was in that group.
Yeah.
She was the last.
Diljit tells us that the Jane's the real AJ, that AJ's not. AJ's the
She might be
Jane.
the AJ.
She says AJ's the Jane of college basketball.
I don't know. Jane's another level.
Yeah,
like she is.
She'll win Olympic medals before we're all said and done. She
She's
may
next level.
She may win world championships.
Yeah. I agree with Diljit as much as that. Because that hurts me to say that, because Diljit's got enough of,
Yeah, I know.
Her, just kidding, her confidence. I'm razzing her because she knows that I care. So, okay, here we go. This was cool. This is me. Look, on a random Wednesday, BYU runners decided to break a world record. This is from a track website. The BYU track women go out and run a 10:41.85, which converts to a 10:33.10, so 10 minutes 33 seconds, which would be a world record after you factor in the altitude of Provo and the 323 meter indoor track.
Right, it's an unusual configuration of the
So
track.
they literally went out and on a random day, the excitement of BYU decided to break a world record.
Let's go break a world record.
And they did it.
And they did it.
Unbelievable.
And your
that's
guys
just
were
the
there,
kind of-
which is awesome.
A bunch of our guys, and it just, again, it goes to the excitement of what's going on at BYU right now, and every day coming down, I'm not going to a job. It's just a great opportunity for me to be around wonderful people, and no doubt, none of this would happen without the support of the fans that we have. Yeah. They're passionate, they're wild and crazy, but man, they love BYU to the core, and that's a big, big deal.
Well, let's not let it be underscored. It is a job. And
I get that.
And you're really good at it.
Yes.
Trying. I'm lucky to be around these kids, and you'll come see him, and you're gonna come up in my office and maybe get a black hoodie if you guys want, and you're gonna go, Shawn, yeah. Everything you said in the interview, there it is. Yep. And we're gonna come next weekend. We're coming to see you again next weekend. And just tell me if you want tickets. I'll just put you right behind our bench.
I always I'd never hit you up because I know you're busy, but Jeremy always takes care of me.
Yeah, well, we'll take care. I'm more than happy to take care of you guys.
And we come. You see us there all the time. Brendan and I love to come support it. We both try to get to everything we can get. Every sport, men's and women's. We want to support those things, because we feel like we've got the best job in the world. Because our job is to just shine a light on all the goodness.
Talk to you about your job. That's what our job is.
Yeah, our job is to shine a light on all the great things that are going on in this program.
You guys do an amazing job.
And let all these fans all over the world, for Pete's sakes, and not just with this show, but everything that we're doing, just to bring them into it so that they can enjoy it too. Yeah. We have the best job.
And you're not even wearing shoes. Like, you've taken it to another level. I go in my pajamas, but you're not even wearing shoes. That's another level.
If I showed up in shoes, if I showed up and didn't go no shoes on this show, because I've been doing it since the beginning, everybody here would go, "Are you sick? Are you like okay?" It's like, what's wrong with you?
What's going on? What's happening?
7 o'clock Friday night, St. Francis, live on the BYU TV app. If you can't get a ticket, if you're lucky to get in, the place will be rocking, and Shawn Olmstead and the new Cougars will be out with the other AJ that now we are as excited to see and write about.
The AJ.
Yes.
Yeah, the AJ.
Yes.
Not the other AJ.
Because now there's two AJs.
The AJ.
I mean, we've had this kid in our plans for longer than the basketball AJ.
That's true. Yeah.
No, each of those players, I hope people understand my humor and my care for every program. And basketball is so darn exciting right now and so fun, and I'm so happy that everybody gets to, like, this is again, I'm rambling, but what a unique time to go watch AJ at the Marriott Center.
Oh yeah.
And the rest of the crew, not just him, right? The rest of the crew, Richie and all those guys. Like, when are we going to see that again? And I remember taking my son to the Jimmer San Diego State game. Yeah. Kawhi Leonard, Jimmer. Remember that? Storm the court. That, I remember going like, is this stadium going to hold this? Like, we were moving it, and then where my seats were, and my son was this tall, and then then Jimmer came out on the cover of I think it was Sports Illustrated, making that fadeaway against Gonzaga. And so I took my son up to Jimmer's house because I would let him shoot around on our second court. Right. He was the only player I would let do that.
Oh yeah,
because we have 3 courts. Yeah. Back then they didn't have a practice facility. They didn't. So Jimmer, credit to him. This shows you how he became Jimmer. He would come down and just shoot for hours by himself with nobody else. And story of Heather and I. Heather never liked, sometimes a kid will come like down to the third court, and I'll ignore him and let him go. I don't want to be the guy like, get your ball up and get out of here. Right. But Heather was hardcore.
Hey, that's our court.
I don't need that noise. We don't need, but all of a sudden I kind of struck up a relationship with Jimmer, and he was allowed there whenever he wanted. He just shoot hoops we have those 3 courts. So our main court, and later in our practices, we're doing team stuff, scrimmaging. So Jimmer would come and just shoot for hours, and I'd look over there, and then we'd have a water break, and I'd go sit right under the hoop. Yeah. And like,
just feed him?
Because he would go chase the ball by himself and dribble back, and I would just sit there and for 2 minutes catch up with him, and every ball would just come right through you guys
straight
know,
down.
You've seen him shoot. Yeah. And I'd give it out to him, and 2 or 3 minutes, all right, I got to go back to practice. Okay, have fun. I'll see you tomorrow. But anyways, I got to experience that in the Marriott Center. Yeah. We're getting another
feeling that again, right?
Yeah. And what I was going to say is I took my son, who was young at that age, up to Jimmer's house. He lived with Charles, and he gave me his address, and because he couldn't go to school anymore. Right. Like, he literally couldn't go to school. And so I was like, hey, Jimmer, I'd see him because of the facilities, and hey, I just want to my son wants to get this signed. Oh yeah, coach, come up, and go up there. And so I share that because we're living another Jimmer experience.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great week.
Shoes, someone needs to get his shoes though. Like, We're in the old lockers at the Smith Fieldhouse. I probably shouldn't tell people because someone's going to go. Jimmer's shoes are his locker is still there. No one's moved it. Really? And it's in the middle of my guys. Like I have.
It's bad form to move his locker.
Yeah. You can't
I've got pictures of it. Like his shoes are hanging there, and he's got a binder up there. It says Jimmer Fredette, and he's got his laundry loop, and a few issue, and it's got about that much dust on it. And I've told Brian, I've told everybody, and
nobody dares touch it. That would be bad karma.
I've told
Jimmer,
leave it there. Like, dude, your shoes.
You gotta leave it there,
right in the middle of my guys. Like,
there's
cool. Jimmer's locker.
Hey, you've got Jimmer Mania in our
locker. We're trying to just strike Jimmer.
And now you got your own AJ. I think you're right there.
Let's go.
And here's the fun thing. So every program has like they're all great teams and these are great teammates, but every program has like a marquee, incredible world-class athlete now.
Yeah.
You talk about your AJ, and the basketball team has their AJ, and then Bear Bachmeyer comes in and just takes the scene by storm. Like, who is this freshman kid, right?
Absolutely.
And Akina on the golf team is one of the best in the world.
Yep.
And it's just over and over. And Jane, and it's like every sport has stepped up the talent level. Yeah. It's really cool.
And we're looking forward to seeing your guys.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's show AJ what it's all about on Friday night. But hey, let's send Trent. Let's remind Trent of what he was been missing the last couple of years. Remind him of what it's like, and let's send his senior year off. And, let's make him an All-American again.
He's gonna have a great season. And it's I focus on the AJ because of the basketball AJ.
Sure.
It's our joke with our team.
It's fun.
And yes, his upside, but. Man, we've got a handful of guys that some of BYU has not, Cougar Nation hasn't seen, and they're going to be excited to see those guys.
We maybe have more than one All-American this year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for
Shawn, thanks so much, brother. Good to see you. We'll wear this with pride, and we'll see you Friday. And
whatever you guys need, just let me know.
Okay. Thanks, brother.
All right. Shawn Olmstead and the Cougars, St. Francis Friday night at the Smith Fieldhouse, and that will be a place you want to feel an energy. You just pop in over there. And thank you, Coach, and thanks for the stuff.
Always.
That's great. We'll see you Friday night.